New Year's Day 1991. They are all dead, and I am old and skeleton-gaunt. This is where it began 53 years ago. Here, where I'm standing in the shadows of the old coach house, the boards sprung and gaping, this stifling January afternoon. I was 32. I've retreated from the sun and the smoke. The smell of smouldering paper has followed me. Blue smoke in the sun blades cutting the interior dark into shapes here, in imitation of the work of a certain painter we once admired. There are things concealed and covered up here. The abode of the dead, I should call it, in the shade where I belong. Don't laugh. It's an old anxiety with me. This impulse to probe the rubbish with the toe of my sandal, disturbing the litter in the hope or dread of turning something up. I'm no longer a woman. Oh, you'll understand all that soon enough. The buckle on my left sandal broke last night when I was dragging my mattress onto the veranda to catch the breeze. Instead of the breeze, I caught my foot against the back step. I've no strength left in my legs. My legs. Back in my smooth skin days, I seduced him with glimpses of the purity of my pearly thighs, watching him ache for my touch, my insides churning. There was no stopping us then. I saw her on the street yesterday, and last night I was sleepless thinking about her, the air burning in my lungs at 2 this morning. I thought of going down to the riverbank and lying on the grass under the silver wattles for a bit of relief. But I can't manage it anymore. I haven't been to the river for it must be 15 years. If I could reach the riverbank, I would lie there, naked as I lay with him. My body white and still and cold in the moonlight now. On my back. Ready for it, Pat would have said. My life and their lives seething in my brain, his and hers. I'm little more than a skeleton these days. No, it is funny. I won't have it any other way. You can laugh all you like. I've never begrudged anyone a laugh. God knows we get few enough of them. Until I saw Edith yesterday, I was ready to become that white corpse on the riverbank. It's true. I wanted it. I have the means for my end tucked away in the back of the drawer of my bedside table. But instead of dying last night, I repaired my broken sandal with the length of purple silk ribbon, which was around the box of cheap chocolates given me by that cheap woman who called here yesterday. If it was yesterday. And was it after I'd seen Edith or before I saw her? It doesn't matter. She, the woman with the chocolates, I mean, not Edith, parked her car by the front door, then walked around the side, coming through the rhododendrons to the back door as if she was one of our old group. She surprised me with my nightdress up around my middle at 3 in the afternoon, doing my corns. I should get a big dog or a gun. She stood with one foot on the raised course of bricks at the edge of the fish pond, no fish, and smiled up at me, her cheap offering held towards me. Wearing immaculate white linen she was, her fat features glistening with the heat, her fat body made for rolling down the hill into the river. That's what I thought as I looked at her. "Who are you?" I asked. I wish I could have menaced her, but there was nothing to hand. I couldn't stand up at once, but I did pull my nightdress down over my ghastly shanks. Why are they always bruised? The bitch had given me no chance to conceal myself, to gather my dignity and hauteur. The truth of my decay was in her face, the ugliness of me, her black eyes eating it all up, writing my end. That was her cunning, to catch my lowest truth in the first moment without having to struggle for it, to arrive at autumn Laing without preliminaries.